With the January transfer window almost upon us, some players more than others will have every tweet, comment and expression analysed and sent off to the footballing lab in the hopes that some clues are found to make their future that little bit clearer. And despite a whole host of injuries, Gareth Bale is still one of the hottest properties in European football. With 3 Champions Leagues, a Copa del Rey and a La Liga title in the last 4 years, where will the Welsh wizard end up next with all these rumours circulating? Let's take a look. His first option could be a return to the Premier League with former club Tottenham. I know it seems very unlikely, but if Spurs keep up this good form in European competition as well as refinding form in the Premier League, there's no reason why Bale wouldn't want to join to become part of the underdog's charge to Champions League glory. Think I'm being a bit too optimistic? Well, I probably am. But hey, you can't blame a Spurs fan for dreaming. And whilst you're in this Gareth Bale wonderland, it's probably best to think of the logistical side of the deal, in which Spurs' much publicised wage structure would pretty much be absolutely broken if Bale were to return to North London. The past few years have seen a bit of a downturn in January spending, as clubs very rarely find the perfect man to replace their outgoing key player midway through the season. So Gareth, if you want to wait another 6 months and return to London with a new home to play your football in and Champions League football, I'm more than happy to wait for you. His second option could see him return to the Premier League, but this time headed to Old Trafford. Back in 2013, the summer he left Spurs, United did table an offer of around 60 million, and even though he moved on to Madrid, he's still been on their wish list. Eventually he went for about 85, but that does beg the question, how much would Bale go for these days? Given the amount that other players are going for, 60 million seems a bit too low, considering that he is a Galactico, and at age 27 he may still have his best years ahead of him. On the flip side of things, he's hardly setting La Liga alight, and with being injured, anything over 100 million seems a bit farcical. So maybe after all these years, he's still worth 85 million. The unfortunate thing is, his chances of new clubs are very, very small, with the likes of PSG, Man City and Man United the only ones who really could afford such a huge fee with his wages on top. To be honest, and as it pains me to say it, he'd fit in well at Man United and could fire Mourinho's side to further glory. But should the money prove too much for the guys at Old Trafford, what should he do? Well, this leads me to his third option. So what is option 3? Well, it's staying put. And why wouldn't he? He's living life large, whether he's on the injury table or on the pitch, with his family out in the beautiful Spanish capital. Oh, and the contract he signed last year, which extends his current deal to 2022, is set to earn him up to £150 million. So yeah, not really much point in moving. So what's the need to move? Well, there is one small reason. Much like Neymar leaving Messi, Bale could also leave Ronaldo after failing to step out of his shadow. However, that's not entirely his fault, as loads of players over the last few years at both United and Madrid have found it difficult to step out of CR7's limelight. But with a poor start to the season and early signs of decline in his play, maybe there is room for Bale to step up and maybe even take the throne and become the new king of the Bernabeu. Seems unlikely, I know, but why not give it a try? So those are the 3 options that I'm presenting for Bale. He either makes that dream return, well, dream for me, back to Tottenham, he moves back to the Premier League but with Man United, or he stays where he is at Real Madrid. Let me know where you think he'll end up in the comments below.